Hey everybody, welcome back to Jeff Bull Central. So I was watching the Xbox gameplay reveal, which was completely mislabeled as a gameplay reveal, because actually it was just 13 trailers, some of which were pretty cool, some of which were kind of head scratching, especially Scorn. Scorn looks cool, but what exactly am I looking at with Scorn? Scorn is the craziest thing. It's just like a horrible H.R. Giger painting come to life, and I have no idea what it's going to be about, but whatever. And so the larger gaming community, of which I am not a member, other than the fact that I game, is talking about how there's a huge misfire. They didn't actually show any gameplay, and the fact that the games don't really look that much better than what like an Xbox One can do. Certainly an Xbox Series X. And I totally agree with all of that. Like I think that was kind of a misstep. The first, to my mind, real misstep that Xbox has made in the rollout of the Series X. And you know what? What I really want to talk about is this idea that's been floating around now for a while that when these new consoles come, and even a few years into their cycle, and even say the next generation of consoles, whatever that looks like, it's 7 years down the road or whatever it's going to be, graphics has reached a peak, or they're nearing a peak, to where we can't really push it that much further and make them look like, oh my god, it's a brand new series, it's a brand new console generation, and oh my god, it's going to be amazing to look at. It's always going to be amazing to look at. That's the point. It already is. Again, if you own a PS4 Pro, if you own an Xbox Series X, if you own a decent PC, you know how good the games look now. And they're adding ray tracing, all sorts of technological advancements, and that's fine. But just like looking at it, especially since it's basically still just, these are just going to be 4K systems. This whole 8K thing, as far as I understand it, is kind of a selling point that is not really viable at the moment. So it's a 4K system, which is great, because a lot of people don't have one of those yet. But my only point is that are we really focusing on graphics too much nowadays? We always did, as gamers, focus on this game looks better than this game, and this game is but like, haven't certain companies cracked this and proved that it really makes no difference whatsoever? Okay, I won't say no difference whatsoever, but it makes less difference than we want to admit. The graphical quality. Nintendo for sure has cracked this. Nintendo has proved again and again and again that a great game doesn't have to look like it's, Big Brother, competitor on PC or whatever. And they can still be really enjoyable, they can still be fantastic, they can be surprising. Especially Nintendo, they spend so much creative energy envisioning their worlds, envisioning their games. And they're not always winners, but for the most part, like a good first-party Nintendo game, there's no other experience like that. And so, isn't really the future of gaming not how good we can make them look, but how interesting we can make them, how unique we can make them, right? And isn't that kind of exciting? Like, look at my AR emoji face. It's exciting. Read my AR emoji lips. Exciting. So, so really, I mean, it's a big turning point for gaming. Until virtual reality really takes off, and I think it's totally primed to take off. And until we have something that even closely resembles holographic interface, right? Watching a video game on a screen, it's going to reach the point where one game looks as good as another. I mean, did you see Assassin's Creed Valhalla? Assassin's Creed Valhalla looks good, but it doesn't look that much better than, say, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Really, not to me, at least not based on this footage. And I think that's fine, but really what it's going to mean is that there's going to be fewer huge crushing franchises that don't take risks from one iteration to another. How many times have we seen that? How many times have we seen a great, brand new IP come out, groundbreaking, and then for sequel after sequel after sequel, minor tweaks? And that's it, minor tweaks. How often does that happen? It happens all the time, and I think with the addition of the indie space becoming even more and more lucrative and more of a possibility, more and more appealing to devs, because God, like working these long crazy hours at Ubisoft or anywhere really, it's crushing the life out of these people. It's like slave labor for video games, for entertainment. So everything is going to change here. That's my belief. The entire gaming landscape is going to change. And I think it's going to become more creative. I think it's going to become more diverse. They're going to have to. They're going to have to learn what Nintendo learned a long time ago. Nintendo learned, well, we want to keep our price points down so the hardware can't be as impressive, which means the games have to be more unique, more creative, more colorful. And I think that's a great place for games to go, and I'm really, really excited for the future of gaming, even if it means that, we're not going to be seeing as many graphical advancements, visually speaking, what you can actually see with your eyes, not on paper. I hate all this on-paper crap, my console's better than your console. I don't even give a shit about what your console can do on paper, my console can do on paper. What are the games like? Number one, how do they play? Number two, at best, how do they look? But it was never the priority. Not as far as I'm concerned. It was always about play, not graphics. So that's my 2 cents. I think games are going to get more creative, more colorful, because they're going to have to compensate somehow for this ceiling that we've reached. This ceiling. Okay, everybody, like and subscribe to Jeff Bowl Central. If you do it, I know you're cool. Hey, everybody, do us a favor. Check out this book on Amazon.com. This is God's Body, Book 1 of the Fall. This is my latest novel. Sell it, Carrie!
Oh, no, you always do this!
Gotta go.
Alright, it's a book about giant gods that destroy each other and the aftermath of an apocalyptic, desolated world.
That sounds good.
Doesn't it?
That sounds like a good book.
I know.
Maybe we should buy a copy and, read it together.
No, because you wrote it.
Oh. Yeah, that probably wouldn't be as enjoyable for me.
Probably not. You're probably like, that's a flaw!